Hello and welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, we are still in the Christmas spirit here. We also did make some Christmas cocktails in the bonus content on Patreon. So if you want to see
Yay.
that, go join the Patreon. Also, we do give our 2 cents. We kind of busted some myths on some of these cocktails that were going viral.
That
So
we did. Consider us the Mythbusters.
check it out.
Mm-mm.
Also, merch is out. And this is your reminder that if you want it before the holidays, better place those orders
Mm-hmm.
because you ain't gonna get them in time. So that's with kind of everything. Make sure you get your Christmas shopping done because I'm a little behind.
I feel like I'm more behind than I think I
Well,
am.
can we just talk about this for a second? Because we kind of talked about this privately, but I have to say, I ordered something from Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened to you recently too. And
Twice
so
now.
we need to dive into this on what's going on here. And maybe all of us can come together and figure this out. So, we both ordered something on Etsy recently. And, places to order, whatever, all's well. And then suddenly said Etsy seller stopped selling on Etsy.
Yeah, just no longer exists.
And I'm starting to think that's a new way to scam.
I think so too, because the email that I got after purchasing, I was trying to purchase a custom
Those Christmas cocktails are getting to you.
those sips of those Christmas cocktails, a Christmas ornament on Etsy, and then I got an email. Shop no longer exists, but you know what? The person that I was selling to was kind of sassy because it was a custom ornament that you could put a picture on. So I had the picture, had the message, and I messaged them on Etsy with the picture. And I was like, here's a picture. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. They were like, oh, it didn't go through. And then, like, a couple hours later, like, I'm not checking my Etsy messages like every hour. Like, I'm checking them once a day. And they just messaged me back, hello, question mark, hello, question mark. And then I sent them the photo to put onto
Yeah.
said Christmas ornament. And then I got an email a couple hours later, shop closed. And now I feel weird.
So, and this is the thing too. This is why I think it's part of like a scam. And so to prove that they're like not a scam, they message you something really random. Because the thing that I ordered, they also messaged me something very random. They said, "What is your
Really?
height and weight?" Because
Why
it
did
was
they need
like,
to know that?
well, I'm kind of ruining your gift, but
That's
this was a
okay.
gift that was intended for you. And it was like a big like cardigan thing. And Brittany had Mickey Mouse like
Shut the
embroidered
fuck up.
like into it, and I hope it comes still. But so anyway, but you didn't select a size. So when I ordered it, I thought like, oh,
Aw,
it's just one size fits all, and I got you it for your
my
birthday,
trip.
yeah, and so
Aw.
I was so proud of it too. And so they messaged me, "What is your height and weight?" And I'm like, this is a very intrusive question.
That's very intrusive.
I feel like it'd be normal to be like, hey, what's your typical size? Or
And
like,
then they could
what
work off
size
of
would you?
that.
Yeah. But it was very specific. So, like, I send back, like, what I think you are, because I don't even know. And I wasn't about to ask you that either. And so
What's your height and weight?
yeah, so specific. So I'm like, this is weird. So I send back, they say, thank you. And then a couple days later, like, it still didn't ship. So I'm like, let me check the status on this, because I ordered this in advance because I was like, I want you to have it before you leave.
Aw.
And, it says shop closed. And then it says, like, you may need to report this to Etsy, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm thinking, though, that what they do is they message you so that you don't report them to Etsy because you're like, oh, like
It's
maybe
a
they're
real
still
person.
sending it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what happened with my Dan Campbell shirt. They said shop closed and then they sent it. So I don't know if it's because they get like, and maybe this isn't the right thing to do, like they get an influx of orders and then they close their shop. 'Cause I'm still holding out hope that this ornament shows up because I'm not ready to file a
Same.
claim yet.
I did message the seller again and just say, like, hey, I saw that your shop closed. Like, are you
Oh,
still
you did? I didn't
Yeah,
think
like,
about doing that.
oh, yeah. Are you still intending on sending the cardigan?
We want the
And
cardigan.
yeah.
Sounds so cute.
I know. So hopefully it does come. But yeah, so I'm starting to think that's a thing. So if you're Christmas shopping, maybe we can
Stay
get to the
alert.
bottom. Yeah, get to the bottom of this together. But also we both kind of did. I mean, physically went and did some Christmas shopping. You kind of did this through your work.
Yeah.
But me and some friends adopted a family or a couple kids in a family for like, I know at Walmart they call it like angel tree. So it gives
Yeah.
you like the kids' wish list and you go and you
So
shop.
nice.
I love it. And I love that this year it's become like kind of a trend on TikTok, which is so weird, but like it's become a trend on TikTok to
I've seen
show
that.
shopping for the angel tree. And it's actually cool because I never really knew what it was through or how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do it in elementary school.
We did. I remember there
Um,
was I want to say the Christmas tree was in our library and you could pick from that.
Yeah, and it just has like the information of like what the kid wants, what the kid needs, and it was really cool. And we all like chipped in together, and it was funny too because like after we got everything, we went back to my house and we're wrapping everything.
So
It literally looked like Santa's workshop in there. We had like stations of like
I love
boxing,
that.
wrapping, putting in the thing to give them. But I love that it's a thing this year. So if you can and still want to, you can go to any Walmart, I think has
Mhm.
them. But also if you go online, it's through the Salvation Army, which I
Yeah.
also didn't know. It's through the Salvation Army. So if you go online, you can actually online shop the list as well, and they'll send it directly to the location that it needs to be sent to the Salvation
That's so
Army. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend that. I saw it all over TikTok and I was like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about this because actually at our Friendsgiving
Mhm.
when we went, our friend Matt was like, family to adopt this year, like I think we should do it, and we were like, oh yeah, like let's
That's
do it.
amazing.
So yeah, it was awesome. I think it's such a good thing to do. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok too. So let's get into some other things I've seen on TikTok recently. I thought this one was so freaking
Oh
hilarious.
gosh.
So there's a trend going around where you ask your significant other to name a woman. And the idea is that the first woman that will come to their mind is you.
It should be.
And if it's
I don't know if
not,
it always
you pick a
is.
fight. But it's funny because some of the ones that they give the answer, it's like, can I really be mad at them for this? Like
I guess
both of our examples, I was like,
good examples. Very
these
good
are-
examples.
but I did see one. So the girl asked her boyfriend, name
the
any
Caitlyn
woman.
one.
No, and he said Sydney Sweeney. And everyone in the comments was like, this, if there was one wrong answer,
That
this
was
is it.
Oh,
But,
that would have hurt. That would have stung.
oh, it a stung. And so I asked Evan, and he pauses, he looks at me, and he goes, Michelle Obama. And like, first of all, like it was as if like there was a correct answer. Like he thought he had
He thought
it.
he knew.
And I was like,
obviously
oh.
Michelle Obama.
I was like, oh, okay. Like I can't even be mad at that because
No,
like,
that's
that's
a good
great example. However, after, on some of the ones I saw on TikTok, I'm reading comments because everyone's saying like, my man said this or my man said that. So I saw somewhere somebody commented, my man said Michelle Obama. And everybody was responding to the comment
There was a thread about it?
saying, oh my gosh, this is so Phil Dunphy coded from Modern Family. Because
Do
I
you
guess
love
he
Michelle?
has like a little thing where he says powerful women turn him on, and he starts naming like Michelle Obama, Oprah, like all these women. And so now I'm like, excuse me, do I need to start a fight over this?
Maybe you do.
But yours, I said the same thing, but yours was kind of sweet too.
It was. I asked Brian at random, name a woman, and he immediately said, he was kind of confused. He was like, my mom. And I was like, well, I was supposed to start a fight, but I can't start a fight about that. That was nice.
Yeah. That's actually like, I think best case scenario.
I think so too.
But Michelle Obama's like a good second, I think.
Yes, I would say Michelle Obama second to Brian's mom.
But the powerful women thing, I was like, what the hell? And I actually Googled the clip of, I was like, Phil Dunphy.
I've never watched Modern
Michelle
Family.
Obama, and it came up. What?
I know, but the thing is, I've seen a million clips of it, and like there's bits within Modern Family that I think are hilarious.
It's
and like
so funny.
Watch like every time they come through my TikTok feed that I feel like I need to start it from the beginning, but I don't even know where it's streaming.
Same. I don't know anything about it now, but when it used to be on, I would like randomly catch it. I never followed it from the beginning, but it's also a show you don't have to. It's kind of like Friends. Like you'll know more about the characters and understand it better if you do, but you also don't have to. But yeah, interesting little drama to start if you want to.
Drama.
Would love to hear your shady stories about what your men
I
say.
feel like that's got to be getting some guys in big trouble.
I am sorry, but I would be pissed if it was like, I don't know. Even Margot Robbie, I'd be like,
I mean that well, because I saw one where it was a girl was like say think of a woman, whatever the fucking question is. Sorry for swearing.
name a woman.
Yes,
Any
and
woman.
the guy goes Caitlyn, and this girl was like, "Who's Caitlyn? What do you mean, Caitlyn?" Just like named.
Just like period. Like
Period. Caitlyn. Caitlyn.
like
Nothing.
a name.
A name.
Like just said a
And
woman.
I think she might have framed it as like say a woman's name or like name a woman's name, something like that. But let me tell you, if Brian said Caitlyn, period, I'd be like, who is Caitlyn?
Like you'd want to know like where did
Yeah,
this
why
come
were you
from?
thinking of that name specifically?
This is kind of random as well, but this reminds me of that situation I saw on TikTok before. You know how like people will do Reddit threads and they'll tell a story. It'll be just kind of like fucked up stories on Reddit and they'll just
Really?
tell their stories.
I've never been on Reddit.
Me either, but they like read them on TikTok sometimes.
Okay.
And this man basically wrote how like he found out that his wife named their child after her first love boyfriend. He didn't know about him until like the child's already born, alive, living life, and they're married, and he never knew where the name came from. And he just
Now he
recently
knows.
found out that it's somebody that she used to date and was her first love. And he's like, I don't know how to feel. Like, I feel so betrayed. And it's like she didn't technically
bad.
do anything wrong, but then at the same time, it's like so weird. But that just reminded me of that. Yeah. Messed up.
Wild.
Yeah. I see too much on TikTok. I was actually just telling Evan, I'm like, I actually need to start putting a limit on myself.
I've started to limit my TikTok intake because
It's so much information. It's honestly too much.
it is too much information, and I will just it keeps me up at night if I'm just scrolling on that.
Yeah.
Or it'll keep me from like accomplishing things, and I just feel like it clogs my brain, and I'm just like not as happy of a person as I could be if I wasn't watching TikTok 24/7. Maybe happy isn't the right term, but I just feel like I'm not as productive, and being productive does make me happy. So what I prefer is putting on like a podcast or a YouTube video where that's running on my phone, and I can't watch TikTok if you're listening to a
Yeah, but I
podcast or a long form YouTube.
I feel like it's even to the point though, like when I'm working out or like brushing my teeth or like normal things I used to do that I wouldn't go on my phone. Like when I used to
you
work
watch
out.
TikToks while you brush your teeth.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's like
Like,
so
that's
unnecessary.
bad.
That's like a 2-minute stint that I can't go without watching it. It's like I can't be alone with my thoughts anymore.
Yeah, and I don't like not
Which
being
is
able
like
to be alone
common,
with my
but
thoughts.
even at the gym to like I used to just put on music and just really feel what I was doing. Now I put on music, I have TikTok going, and I'm like watching and scrolling while I'm walking. It's like, can I just be in the moment?
Yes, you gotta just one thing at a time.
I will say though, if we do group activities or with friends, I'm not like that. But
No,
it's when I'm
same.
alone. I need to limit myself when I'm alone.
That's when I get bad with it too. But you know what also has helped with me not going on TikTok? I've been taking up friendship bracelet making. And I'll watch or I'll listen to a podcast or I'll have TV in the background. And it's really good for me to do that because I find myself that if I'm working on like making the bracelet, I actually
hands-on activity.
watch the movie or listen to the podcast rather than if I'm watching a movie or I don't know, whatever. I'll find myself scrolling on TikTok while I'm supposed to be like watching that.
It's bad. It's just honestly not taking any time to just be alone with your own thoughts. Today's episode is brought to you by Uncommon Goods. If you haven't finished your holiday shopping yet, don't panic. There's still time to find incredible original gifts with the help of Uncommon Goods. UncommonGoods.com has gifts for everyone in your life. mom, dad, siblings, future in-laws, besties, significant others, and it's not stuff you can just find anywhere. Uncommon Goods has unique and creative gifts, often handmade by independent artists and makers. I've shopped for my fiance, little sister, and multiple friends on the site already, but in case they're listening, I won't spoil their gifts, and luckily I don't have to because Uncommon Goods has so many great options. I can give you some of the ones that I didn't buy, yet at least. I love their customized barware options, like the pint glasses or rocks glasses, and you can get personalized with the college town of the person you're gifting to. Their DIY kits, like the make your own ice cream, hot sauce, or even beer. And I always love the personalized options they have, especially this custom pet embroidered sweater that you can give someone with their pet's face and name on it. That's why I love Uncommon Goods. You can skip the gifts that scream last minute and find something truly original at uncommongoods.com. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/shady. That's uncommongoods.com/shady for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Thank you to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring today's episode. There's some very good news right now happening. And apparently, a drug has been invented to help dogs live longer. Dogs deserve to live forever.
They truly do.
But this drug, it's called LOI-001. It's not yet available. They're thinking 2026. But
Okay.
it was designed to extend the lifespan of dogs for large adult dogs because, smaller dogs.
Large adult dog?
Yes. Naturally, larger dogs don't live as long as smaller
No, they
dogs.
don't.
And it's because of a hormone that is the insulin growth factor that there's more of it in larger dogs. And so that's why they tend to not live as long. So this drug is supposed to regulate and lessen the amount of growth hormone in them.
Okay.
So that they hopefully live longer. The FDA is still doing testing on it, but if it does become available, it will be a long-acting injectable medication administered by a vet every 3 to 6 months, I'm assuming depending on the size of your dog. But even the fact that this is being worked on makes me so happy. It's like,
Does it?
yeah, it not
does make me
solved
happy,
it,
but it's like, how long before like they have that for humans?
yeah.
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. I guess this is my thing. It is a good thing, but are they living longer and still having a good quality of life?
I want to know that as well.
Because if so, then yeah, this is like a miracle.
It is a miracle. If that does not impact their quality of life, then yes, this is a miracle. If they live longer and their quality of life isn't that great.
Yeah. Which I'm sure that's exactly what they're going to find out with all these testing.
Right. Who are they testing this on?
I'm assuming dogs. But think
Is
about
that
it.
safe?
Think about it. I guess my question would be, how old is too late to start it?
Yeah, do they have to start when they're a baby?
What I'm thinking is, let's say you had an old dog right now, an old big dog, and they were getting older.
Kona, R.I.P.
And they were getting older. If somebody said, would you like to test out this trial drug that could let them live longer? You'd probably say yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm assuming that's maybe where they're getting.
Okay, I hope that's the case and not unlike baby puppies.
Gosh, no, I don't think so. It says adult dogs. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's a positive note. New
Could be a
possibility. Yeah, new possibility for dogs.
How about that for a holiday gift to the world?
I was just actually, this is not funny, but freaking, you know how I always talk about getting put in these situations saving dogs?
Yeah, you do.
Elena called me yesterday.
Did she save a dog?
And she tried. She doesn't know, someone else was like took over because she had to leave, but basically she was driving.
She left the scene?
She had to. She was late to work. But she's driving. She sees this dog running around. So she stops for like 20 minutes. She goes, buys a bagel to try to get this dog to try to catch this dog.
Funny.
Basically, she ended up, a woman like stopped and helped her. And she was like, can you like, take over? I've got to go. So the woman like was chasing the dog after. But she doesn't know what happened to it. But she was like, yeah, I got put in a situation like you always talk about. And I'm like, dude, now you know how I feel.
That's wild.
But yeah, hopefully the dog is all right. I just had to bring that up. So I'm not the only one.
It happens to others. I mean, it happened to me once. I don't know if I ever talked about it on here. Remember that dog was running around in my sub in the front of its house, and it was like running into the street, and I pulled over, and then some guy came like out of his house, and he was like, Nala. I feel like the name started with an N, and I feel like it was Nala.
I thought you were going to say he was like, don't try to steal my dog.
I was about to steal the dog if no one came because it didn't have a collar on it or anything. But yeah, it was just running around in the front. And this guy, like, once, like, I got the dog over to him, like, he was just like, yeah. Just didn't seem appreciative that I ensured his dog was not hit by a car. And it was happening for a while because at first, like, I didn't pull over right away because I was like, what if this is like, I think I called my mom and I was like, what if this is like sex trafficking or like something scary?
Gosh. I don't
know why that like crossed my mind, but I was like scared it was a trap. And I'm like, no, I have to save the dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least it ended up being fine.
It happened like the first day. It was the day me and Brian went on our first date. I had like left to go do something, then came back. I told him about it on our way to dinner.
Aw. Well, at least it was okay.
Yeah.
Positive. Another thing going on. Another drug, actually. Another positive and another drug. Apparently, we love positive drugs.
What?
Apparently, I don't know, because it's just wild.
Of you listening,
it's like an oxymoron, like positive drug. I don't know.
Just threw up the rock and roll sign too.
Rock and roll. Listen, there's a sobering drink that is supposedly coming out this month. It's called Safety Shot, and it's a beverage that is supposed to quickly sober you up about 8 times quicker than normal water would sober you up. And it makes your blood alcohol content drop in record time. It leverages scientifically proven ingredients to enhance metabolic pathways that help you break down blood alcohol. And so pretty much this is supposed to be,
I want to try it.
If you're out and you need to sober up, or you're in an emergency situation, you need to sober up.
Oh, it's just for emergency situations?
No,
I'm trying to reduce my hangovers.
I believe that's what majority of people will use it for. And a recent study showed that it made a notable reduction in blood alcohol content within 30 minutes. So it also aids in rehydration, so it will definitely help with hangovers.
I'm really excited about this. I'm curious as to how much it'll cost. Probably a pretty penny. Oh,
no, I heard it was pretty similar to like an energy drink.
A 4-pack for $20 or individual cans for $4.99. Our cost of goods is $1.50 per can. So they're making nice little pretty penny on that one.
They're transparent about it.
Mm-hmm. At least they're being honest.
The only thing I would say is it's not FDA approved. It technically doesn't have to be because it's considered a nutraceutical. It's not, I don't know if I said that right. It's not a pharmaceutical. It's an alternative to a pharmaceutical. So it uses vitamins and minerals to achieve this goal. It's not FDA regulated. So that is one thing, but they have done clinical studies on it. So
I'm excited.
Try at your own risk.
I will try it. Would you? Are you going to?
If you do first.
Yeah, I'm for sure. I'm all about hydration.
I think lately Liquid IV has been my
I
saving
love
grace.
a Liquid IV. I drink them so often, not even for hangovers, just
for life.
For life, and it's probably a lot of sugar too, but sometimes I want a fun drink. I don't want just water. And Liquid IV feels like a nice fun drink to have sometimes.
It's a wild thing to say.
It really is.
I use it strictly for hydration purposes, but I'm happy you have a fun drink for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, moving on. There's some more pretty genius things going on with our good old pal Chipotle.
Oh.
Although they have not been in our good graces lately.
They haven't.
They've been in the
Nor
good
have they
graces of
tried
a
to send
lot.
us free Chipotle for life cards.
Um, they've been in the good graces of a lot of other customers because Chipotle realized that their customers were really taking advantage of the fact that you could just grab your own napkins at the
Bro.
counter. And you know what? Instead of taking that away and putting the napkins behind the counter like some other companies do, Subway does this.
Wait, do they?
You can't grab your own
Subway-
napkins. You
No
can't grab your own
way.
napkins. They're behind the counter.
Because everyone's taking the
I'm
napkins?
assuming, I don't know. This is allegedly, this is just
Theories, what
this
we're
is what
using
I've
our context
witnessed.
clues for.
Anytime you go there, you have to specifically ask them for napkins. There's nowhere to grab them. There's straws and lids, but there's no napkins. But Chipotle said, you know what? We know everyone steals our napkins, so we're going to invent a napkin holder for your car.
I'm looking at it right now. That's crazy. And it's
cute.
also so aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's a sad beige napkin holder.
It's branded with the Chipotle logo. So obviously, you know, anyone who buys it, every time you go to grab your little napkin, you're going to think about Chipotle and you're going to want it.
I mean,
Also, they sold
out.
They sold out this product, so they made some money there. And now they made some money because we're all talking about it. So
I want one.
very smart with the marketing.
Like
they also have limited edition mystery teas that you can get.
What does that represent?
You purchase a t-shirt and it's a mystery. You don't know.
Stop it right now. They also have Chipotle custom order tee where you can order or you can put your Chipotle order on there. And it literally has like select your protein, select your rice.
Yeah.
Select if you want beans. No beans is an option. They put that on the shirt.
Basically, it's a shirt that just has your Chipotle order on it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, they actually have a lot of cute merch on their thing. It's kind of wild. I never knew about it before, but this got us all talking about it. And you know what you could say? You could say they have some Riz.
You could say that.
Because moving on to Riz is apparently the word of the year for 2023, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. Riz actually beat out Swifty, was in the running.
Was it really?
Along with situationship, de-influencing. There were a few other words in the running, but those were the top ones, and Riz ended up winning. You actually vote on it. So 32,000 votes from the public on social media landed Riz for the #1 spot for word of the year, which is surprising considering Swifties have a lot of pull, but I guess they don't really know about this.
I don't think we were made aware because I'm a Swiftie and I was not made aware that this was something we were working towards.
I don't know if it was, but it's, you know, just the Oxford English Dictionary. The competition usually celebrates recently created words or expressions that symbolize a specific period of time, having potential as term of lasting cultural significance or providing a snapshot of social history. But it kind of got me thinking, what were our words or phrases of the year?
Oh my gosh, our words or phrases?
But here's the thing. Mine wouldn't be considered new or, you know,
anything
culturally
groundbreaking,
significant to this year. I just said them a lot. For example,
wait, you wrote them down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, and this isn't even necessarily a word, but I say this in response to everything. I'll say 1,000%. I'll just 1,000%.
No, that's a good one.
Or 100%, 1,000%. That's my response to everything. Evan, do you want Chipotle? 1,000%. Not yes.
1,000%.
Not for sure. Just
1,000%.
Another one I've been saying a lot this year is yikes.
Yikes.
Like anytime anything remotely negative happens, just yikes.
Yikes.
Oh,
you do be saying
I saw
that.
someone from high school. Yikes.
Yikes. Sucks.
Another one, and I feel like a lot of our friends say this. Fair.
That's fair. Yeah,
when you
I say that.
Like, yeah,
Fair.
I don't think I'm gonna go. I have to do this. That's fair.
Or just fair.
That's fair. Fair. It'll be something so easy, so simple, but fair. That's one that we use a lot. And this is specific to the last probably 3 months, but dude. That's the first thing I say to everyone.
It's a word and a sentence. Dude.
Come on,
That's
dude.
all you got to say.
So those were mine.
You know what I think one of mine is, and I've noticed I've said this recently a lot, is that's nuts. Like, instead of that's crazy, I've just been saying that's nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah.
You want to say nuts?
No, not
That's
like
crazy.
that. Don't turn this into something disgusting. But I do be saying
nuts.
that. What else do I say? Nothing. Interesting. We both say
I feel like we
interesting a
say
lot.
very similar phrases, so it'd be hard to come up with different ones.
We say for why a lot. For why? For why? My favorite expression to say, actually, I've said this recently on a podcast. Made or tomato, or tomato, potato. I said it on the podcast. I think it's so funny. Like, I genuinely think that's something funny to say because the saying is, and I know the saying, tomato, tomato. That's not funny to me. Like, that's not giving what I want it to
Potato
give.
just really
Potato,
amps it up
tomato.
to the next level.
It's so funny.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
But I think overall, the word of the year for this podcast is shady.
Damn straight.
So let's get into some shady stories. Starting with, let me readjust here.
A very long, shady story from what I hear.
Starting with shady story number 1. Fair warning, the story is longer, but it's worth the shady tea. My stepmom and I have been bumping heads for over 10 years, and I have endless shady stories I can share about her. But this story is a festive one, so 'tis the season. Last year, my entire family gathered for an early Christmas lunch, and I showed up earlier before my dad and stepmom. They arrived as we were lining up for food, and I noticed my stepmom right away. I immediately said, "Hey, where were you guys?" She continued to walk right past me with her jacket on, hands in her pocket, not even looking in my direction. And with snarky attitude, she responded with, "We just got here." I could feel her negativity radiating through her attitude, so I decided to steer clear from her. That is until she decided to sit at my table after we ate. As we sat around the table chatting about what we were going to do for Christmas Day, she proceeded to whisper in my dad's ear, loud enough for me to hear, saying, "Your daughter looks disgustingly skinny. I can't believe she would wear that outfit to Christmas lunch." First of all, I was wearing black leather pants and a black long sleeve shirt. There was nothing wrong with my outfit. And second of all, I did lose a little bit of weight last year because it was a really hard year for me. But instead of being there for me, she decides to talk shit. She was honestly going on for about 2 to 3 minutes straight, but I tuned her out because I was shocked that she would have the audacity to talk shit about me at my family Christmas lunch. But it doesn't stop there. On Christmas Day, we usually have a tradition where my brother and I go to my dad's house for Christmas breakfast since we were kids. But last year we weren't invited and we were told to get our gifts at my grandma's house where everyone will be. I gave them each a thoughtful gift despite how shitty she has been over the years, but the joke ended up turning around on me. She made a big scene and really wanted me to open my gift. So I did, and I really had to fight back the urge not to embarrass her in front of everyone. She had the audacity to re-gift me one of her old Christmas decor items that I used to put away at their house. To clarify, I know for sure this was a re-gift because 1, I recognized it right away. There was no sealant sticker on the box was looking busted, the styrofoam to protect the glass was broken, because I was the one who broke it, the glass had twinkle lights inside of them, and they were yellow, and the battery pack on the bottom literally had a cat hair sticking out of it. Both my brother and sister did not get re-gifts. It was just me. I could feel that she was expecting a strong reaction of anger from me, but I kept my cool and said thank you. I have not brought it up to her or my dad because honestly, it was the cherry on top of how shitty she had treated me last year alone. I haven't pulled out the decor piece for this year because I feel like it's bad energy to have that in my home because it wasn't gifted with good intention, so I'm strongly considering re-gifting it back to her this year as a way to give her back her karma. What do you girls think? Should I re-gift it back to her or should I donate it?
Absolutely, without a doubt, without a thought, re-gift that damn present.
Re-gift it, but like make it so obvious. Like,
what you think?
Yeah. Like
what do you think? What approach? Because I was gonna be like,
act like it's not.
No, act like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to give you your present. Like really hype up the gift.
She already did that. I feel like gotta do something to one up it of like.
Like, do you still have the wrapping paper from last year? That would have been incredible.
Yes. Like, exact same thing she gave down to the
Like it
wrapping
wasn't even
paper.
opened. Or like whatever it is, like could you mess with it? I don't know.
Like if it's a glass, like drink out of it with lipstick and just put
Yes,
it
and
back
like
in
leave
there.
the lipstick mark.
Yes.
Like do something to just like put a little like wink
Sting.
on it.
Little sting.
A sting.
But I think this is shady as fuck. And
please do it and please let us know how it plays out.
agreed. This is definitely
That's a 10 out of
10
10
out of
as
10.
long as you regift. If you don't regift it, not a 10 out of 10. We're taking that away. It's a 1 out of 10. So just know that when you consider
Please do it.
regifting. Shady story number 2. I was engaged to my boyfriend. We were living long distance for a year. He moved home and we got an apartment together. Well, it ended up that we got along way better when we only saw each other every few weeks. I moved back home with my mom. I had realized that he had a major drinking problem and was a complete jerk. I went to the apartment one night to get some of my things and he was super mean. It was really gross, but he chewed tobacco and would spit it in a water bottle. I was so mad at him, I pretended I needed to use the bathroom and took half a filled water bottle of his chewed spit and poured it all over his mattress and then pulled the sheets and comforter over it. So I was leaving and he figured it out and called my cell and ran outside, jumped in his car and started to follow me 25 minutes to my mom's house while he was yelling at me on the phone. I ran inside and locked the door. He kept banging on the door and my mom came out and told him to take a hike. My heart was racing, but he deserved it and my mom supported me. Eventually, he ended up leaving and all was well. Dodged a bullet with him and now I'm happily married to someone else. That's scary.
Yeah, that definitely could have ended way worse than it did.
Yes, that's
I'm
terrifying.
glad it all worked out in the end. But definitely a scary scenario to be in, and you definitely dodged a bullet. But that is funny to pour the chewing tobacco spit on the bed.
Yeah, I think that's really funny.
Because that's
disgusting.
caca.
Oh,
Yeah.
not good. Not a fan, but a fan that you poured it in his bed. I wish it would have taken him a little longer to see it. But maybe good because what if like he waited an hour and then he showed up at your house and you were like, oh my God, it's the middle of the night.
You're really going for the scenarios here. Yeah, no. I think this is you're just like making stuff up. And then you were like, oh my God,
And
what
then
are
he
you
was
doing
like-
here? And then he was like, well, what the hell? And then
my mom
like,
jumped in.
Okay,
Could have been
but
really bad. Good thing you dodged that bullet.
seriously, this was like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Definitely shady, but glad you dodged that bullet. Yeah, that concludes
That's
the
it.
shadiness, but we are running low on the shady stories. We need more shady stories, especially holiday themed ones.
Yes, the first one, holiday theme.
Perfect.
Loved that.
So let's get some of those in.
We know you have shady family that you see at shady holidays.
Yeah, Thanksgiving just happened. Tell us the tea.
Yeah, we know there's tea that goes down. Were you at the kids' table? Were you not at the kids' table?
But yeah, submit them. The link is in the description, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.